All right, good morning. What's up with you guys? I'm back in town. I'm back behind the wheel in the 1999, where it started with this channel. It's been probably 2 months now. I'm just randomly putting it up there. Just looking back, I've gone through evolution. I believe I had came back in Colombia around June 15 when I started uploading to this channel, because I was in the midst of just being selective about uploading things to my travel channel, where I was like, I'm not that comfortable in front of the camera yet. I needed practice, so I said, fuck it. I'm a create a throwaway channel where I just speak my mind, upload it, and I don't care about people seeing it, like, right? Because I'm not about to post it to people I know, promote it or anything like that. It's like a finders keepers thing, right? So it makes me more comfortable to just come on here, turn my camera on, and holla. So it's been great. I've been having a good time. I didn't gain 1 subscriber or anything. I got 2 subscribers, and it's my other 2 channels. It's my Make It Worthwhile channel. I believe one word, Make It Worthwhile. And then there's Make It Worthwhile _travels channel. So that's that, right? And I've been doing my thing, like, just, there's no views or nothing, but it's saved in the clouds, where if I want to watch it, if I want to document my life, it'll be right there. There's sound bites, there's good parts, So if somebody enjoy YouTube and your favorite content creator is not really is missing, this is a good substitute. I'm sure you'll start watching it and you'll dig into it, right? But there's a lot of room for growth. This is just the beginning for sure, and I'm definitely confident for the future. So this is why I'm taking this chance, because now I just came back from, it's August, I just came back from DR. Out of the 2 places I like to go, when I come back, I do feel a lot better and things like that. So the beginning of the channel, I went through a month of just not being able to get paid and not driving Uber for a while, and also losing my car, basically. And then I got sick. So I was looking rough at the beginning. And, in the midst of being able to travel and doing all of that, I mean, I wasn't at rock bottom, but it looked pretty bad. I felt, just being sick, like, it just not in my control. Like, I couldn't just come to the camera and talk like everything was all good. But I was still coming on the camera, and the uncertainty of my car being able to still work, because it was part of the half of the debt that I said I owed. So if I said like it was like $45K, half of it was calculated on my car note. But now the car is no more, and whatever comes of it is gonna affect my credit. But that's something that I could work on. I think it's easier working that way than thinking that I was gonna pay that car off while paying my student loan, right? So now I feel a lot better. Just I'm not gonna buy a car. I'm gonna rent them. I'm gonna drive them on the weekends when I'm not at my job, because now, I mean, I'm getting the hang of the job, I just gotta do that, and and do my thing on the weekends and plan the next trip. Now, like I said, the only thing is I don't mind just using my days off, which is 3 to 4 days, to be out without, inconveniencing somebody to work for me at the job or be missing too much at the job. So I just need to have my tickets around $400 or less, because paying $600 to go out for a couple days, three to 4 days less, 5 days was just right. All right, it didn't feel too short, it didn't feel too long, but I can only use the days that I have, and maybe hopefully eventually I could accumulate time off and use them properly, because it got a little complicated trying to get somebody to work for me. And then when I did get somebody to work for me, they started flip-flopping whether I could work their weekend today or not, which it was offered to me today, but I'm like, man, it's gonna stop me from getting a car on Friday. So so I committed to getting a car on Friday. Before I left, that was the deal, because hey, you're gonna work for me Monday, Tuesday, I'll work for you Friday and Saturday, as long as I get Monday and Tuesday. I had already had my return trip booked for Sunday at 12, and I'm like, man, getting there at Thursday and leaving Sunday at 12, I'm gonna, a lot of the things I experienced at the tail end of the trip, I would have not have enough time to even get to it. So it was perfect. But come Sundays, she was like, yeah, I want my hours. Basically pulled the rug from under me. And while I was sitting there, I'm just like, all right, fine, cool. I'll just get back and get me a rental. And it's the best days for me to drive that rental anyways. All right. So yeah, so I'm just gonna, see, because if they need to have somebody that comes in, because I'd hate for them to just be like, oh, we couldn't find anybody. Because I spoke to her this morning, so she definitely knows that I am not going to take her shift. So therefore, she needs to let them know in advance, and they need to have somebody come in Friday morning on time so I could go pick up this rental. Because if I don't, the next time I'll be able to pick it up is probably Wednesday, if not Thursday. And that's a whole other week. And, this weekend I need to get to it. Although it's a paid week, but I'm trying to double up and buy these tickets. My grandma is in the hospital from back home, so I'm the one being called on. So I'm trying to send her a minimum of $250, maybe more, just so she could get everything she needs. It's her turn, basically. Early in the year, my aunt had her little issues. Now it's my grandmother, which is fine. This is the year where I basically pay off everybody, because everybody took turn when I couldn't do for myself to help me out, all right? Whether it was for 2 to 3 years or 1 year, everyone did. And I was barely even nine years old. And when I was barely even 1 year old. That's fine. But this is the year where I do one gesture, right? And then I just want to be left alone, man. I just want to focus on having my children and having my goods, and and somebody, 1 or 2 people that cares about me, and I'll take care of them, because they take care of me. But as far as looking back on aunts, because like I said, my mom has a lot of sisters and a couple brothers. So does my dad. He has a couple sisters, but everybody lives here from my dad's side. But anyways, I'm gonna do it for my grandmother. It's a sudden thing. While I was in the middle of my vacation, people started calling me, letting me know. And I'm the only person they really have from the family that lives over in the United States. So I'm gonna do that, but best believe it's like one of the few times I'm gonna, like I said, I broke the bank. Like I was saving. I often mention this investment thing, which it has another name, but I call it that just for lack of better words. An investment. Put the money away. People take turns collecting. Now I don't know how illegal that could be, but it's a family thing. It's today you help one family, the next it's a Caribbean thing mostly, but I partake in it. You help somebody pay their bill, and next time they help you pay your bills. But this one is a lot larger, and the stakes are higher. But the second time I was doing it, I basically had to take half the money because my aunt broke her leg, my grandma's oldest daughter, and then my mom needed somewhere to stay. I had to match the same amount I sent for my aunt to my mom, just because it was a demonstration thing. Because you know how it is. And now it's my grandma, and they all got children and stuff like that. Everybody wants you to invest into their stuff. It's a lot, not too much for me, but it's also like I'm only one person. Like I have a life of my own, and it's nice to help and all, but as you can see, like things are, this is my story. Like I'm literally documenting that, things are okay. Like I could give myself a breather, thankfully I have a job. It's not just Uber I'm relying on, but as far as 2 months ago, I didn't have another source of income. So if my car had broken down before I even thought about getting a job, I would have been not really, because I would have just got the rentals, but it would still feel scarce until I figured it out. But having the rental is a lot easier, because I used to use the rental while paying my car note, and that was like hustling, crazy. But eventually the something had to give, right? And right now, I'm with the folks, my third family. When I say my third family, that means that they're neither from my mom's side or my dad's side, but they're considered family, and I also call them support system because I'm not with my direct family, but they took me in like family. And the mother right now is in the hospital. I think today she's being released. She wound up in the hospital when I left for my trip, so it's my day back. I went and got her some coffee from where she wanted it at, and now I'm just, we're just gonna pick her up, bring her home, and hopefully she, she gets better from whatever that puts her in there. Like I said, it's good to have a support system, but it seems like, the walls are closing in. People are getting into hospitals, the matriarchs, and there's not really much of a patriarch, organized patriarch. So as for me, I gotta make sure that I am more than what I knew, than what I was taught, right? I delayed, because that's why I also mentioned this is failure to launch. So I delayed this thing as long as possible, and I must say I did lean on the matriarch, So now, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna upload that video. I also mentioned my last video, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna stay in the same place for too long, meaning it's time to really be on my own. Yeah. So we're gonna see about that. I'm getting close to the hospital, so I'll just make that call and see if it's time to go, and it's time for them to come out, and I'll bring them home, so forth and so on. So thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one with the next update. So, another reason why this is only on purpose. I don't got to worry about being judged of where I am this month, because next month you'll probably see me on the beach in the Caribbean or whatever. So it is what it is. I'm not worse off. I'm just taking advantage of life where there is an advantage to take of. Money's coming in. I ain't getting no doctor money or nothing like that, but I'm also not taking on no doctor's bills, if that makes sense. So therefore, I get to enjoy my money. Some people make good money, but guess what? They work every day. They don't take a vacation. And most importantly, they work hard and taxing their life. But me, my job is carefree. Obviously you got to be a responsible person to work. But driving Uber is equivalent to me playing Grand Theft Auto or something like that and just driving, minus the other stuff. So why the hell not, right? We're going to stay looking young for as long as possible. And we're going to take care of our health, so forth and so on. And I hope you're doing the same and using this as an example and letting the light bulb in your head spark. All right? Peace. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, ask questions, make suggestions, whatever, man. Thank you.